Good evening, fellow necromaniacs. I'm glad so many of you could come.
Thank you, Mr. Hitchcock. It seems that Graves, my manservant, has locked himself in his room and won't come out until his favorite radio show, The Nightwalk, on WTKM is over. He's just crazy about pokers. Or maybe he's just plain crazy. So I will introduce tonight's movie. Welcome to Dead of Night Theater. Tonight we present a rare and fine film from that fright master himself, Alfred Hitchcock. The 1934 original Man Who Knew Too Much. Hitchcock remade this film in 1956 in glorious Technicolor with James Stewart and Doris Day. You may remember her singing the Oscar-winning song, "Que sera, sera, whatever will..." Well, you get the idea. That was in the later film. This is the first of 4 early Hitchcock films we will present to you in the weeks to come. And don't bother looking for Hitchcock's famous cameo in tonight's movie. He doesn't have one in it. But I will tell you one of Hitchcock's most creative cameos a little later in the show. So now, let's enjoy Alfred Hitchcock's eminently suspenseful The Man Who Knew Too Much. Welcome back to Dead of Night Theater. It seems Graves is still locked in his room eating his Limburger cheese sandwiches and listening to those damned pokers. They all sound the same to me. Well, I hope you're enjoying tonight's movie. Did you know that this was Peter Lorre's first English-speaking role? He learned his lines phonetically, like Bela Lugosi did in Dracula. It was also going to be another entry in the Bulldog Drummond detective series, but Alfred Hitchcock and writer Charles Bennett couldn't get the rights for Bulldog Drummond. Earlier I mentioned I'd tell you about one of Hitchcock's most creative cameos. It was in his production of Lifeboat. The picture took place in one small lifeboat on the ocean, and during the course of the film, a character was reading a newspaper, and in that newspaper was an ad for a weight loss program. Hitchcock's pictures was the before and after. Maybe Hitchcock should have taken advantage of that weight loss ad. That can only mean one thing. It's time to open up the trailer crypt and present to you the 1956 remake of tonight's movie, and as a special bonus, a promotional film made by Alfred Hitchcock for the release of Psycho. Behold!
Ladies and gentlemen, the famous Miss Doris Day has gladly consented to sing a few songs for us tonight.
Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera.
You're right, that was a gunshot you heard. That was the signal that brought all the trouble out into the open. It's a scene from our new picture, The Man Who Knew Too Much. As you know, Alfred Hitchcock has an uncanny knack for coming up with the unusual in entertainment. Well, The Man Who Knew Too Much can certainly be put in that category. I play the part of an American doctor. Doris Day is my wife. And the story is about our trip abroad that started out as a holiday and ended up as a nightmare. And to film it, Hitchcock took us thousands of miles away from Hollywood to Marrakesh, which is right in the center of the North African trouble area. And that was just the beginning. From there, we flew to London for backgrounds of a whole strange series of events that ended up that final night in the great concert hall. where the cue for murder was one single crash of the cymbals.